welcome to episode 29 of This Week at Shrouded. Thank you all for coming. I'm your host today, Agreener, and I have two guest stars with me today, Mr. Rect and Aperehz, or Weirdly Aperehz, as his Twitch name says. Thank you both for coming. Really appreciate your time and insight tonight.
Hello.
Hi.
Perfect. So we are going to stray away from Destiny for the beginning of the stream, as we typically do, or the beginning of the podcast episode. Apologies. And kind of just talk about anything else we may have delved in this week in the world of gaming. And if you haven't done anything, and you've only played Destiny, like sometimes that happens, you're more than welcome to bring that up. So we're going to start with Mr. Rect. And have you been doing anything fun this week? That's not Destiny related, or has it been all beautiful season 21 of Destiny 2?
I haven't. The extent at which I have played Destiny for the past, 2 weeks has been log in, fly to the tower, check Banshee, run a couple of laps around the courtyard, log off. So, the season is basically done for me. All the seasonal content was done several weeks ago, and there isn't really much point to playing right now. As far as other stuff, I've been continuing my legendary difficulty playthrough of the Halo franchise games with Prodigy. I gotta say that playing through Combat Evolved again, I thought was going to be fun and nostalgic, but it's not. It's annoying and bad. I remember Halo Combat Evolved being like really fun back in the day. I have lots of good memories of playing 4v4 or 4-way 2v2 screen share, split screen PvP. Now playing a game where you can't ADS, and the missions don't have meaningful checkpoints, it's really fucking annoying. Prodigy and I were playing, I think it's the second mission in that game where you go rescue Captain Keyes from the Covenant. Mm-hmm. And we got to the point where we rescued him and we were like, we've been at this for a long time. Because Legendary is a slog, let me tell you. They don't pull any punches. They just jack up the hit points. And when you face invisible dudes with swords, like you're backpedaling the entire time. You're unloading multiple clips of ammunition into them, hoping not to die. By the time we rescued Keyes, it was like, all right, it's late, going to bed. Came back the next day, and that's halfway through the mission. Came back the next day. By the way, none of your checkpoints counted. You get to start this shit over again. So the pacing in the other games in the series, in terms of like how long a mission is a lot better. So I'm really looking forward to getting done with Halo 1. But other than that, I have not been doing anything fun. My air conditioner died over the weekend, which is super fun when you're in Arizona. That ate into a bunch of my gaming time, but is what it is.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's many people that I have heard from lost their AC this week.
Working overtime.
It was only an unexpected $3,400. No big deal.
Oof. No push-ups for me on the next Catastrophe stream. Let's go. You're the only one that really ever does them. I think I could evolve. I guess I play Counter-Strike Go, which is pretty much non-ADS. So I think I could evolve back to playing a game like that with little issue. But I don't think I'd ever go back and play Halo 1 anyway. I don't have any nostalgia for that at all. I wasn't.
It's not necessarily a problem of not being able to ADS. Like I still I enjoy like Overwatch gameplay, and most of that you can't ADS in, right? You're just shooting the gun, right? The problem is we're playing the game we're playing the franchise in chronological order of when the games actually take place. So we started with Reach, and Reach in terms of like gameplay mechanics is such a better game than Halo was, obviously, right? Because it came so far afterwards. So doing that and then immediately jumping into,
Halo.
my old PlayStation 3 days or PlayStation 2 days. I don't even remember what that was Xbox. PlayStation,
Yeah,
Xbox,
that's Xbox
I was
base
gonna say,
Xbox.
yeah.
Xbox One. Back in those days, it was something. Yeah.
Yeah, I replayed Combat Evolved probably a year and a half, 2 years ago with my wife. We were doing the co-op, but it was not not legendary or anything, just the two of us. And it's rough. The mechanics of Halo Combat Evolved are definitely they have not aged well.
I don't imagine. So what have you been doing the last 7 days, Perez?
Actually, I've been playing a lot of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. Uh, a lot actually. I don't know. I usually just hyper focus and stuff. I was scrolling down TikTok I think last week, and I saw a lot of Dragon Ball Z Abridged, the parody miniseries online, and I was like, yeah, it's high time for me to get back and play any Dragon Ball Z games. And Kakarot there was a good sale for the game, so I got it.
Is it
And
just
I've
like
been
a fighting game?
it's weird because it's a Dragon Ball Z game where it's more like played like an adventure RPG game,
Okay.
but with a portion of fighting. But the fighting like controls are not like super in depth. In general, that Budokai, the new not Budokai, the new the Bandai Namco games, anime games at this point, all of them have a very specific type of combat where you like access your I don't know, techniques using the triggers and then any of the face buttons and stuff like that instead of like actual combos, like button combos with like more traditional fighting games. This has some of that, but it's more about like transversing and you have a skill tree and yeah.
Okay.
And it goes along the story, the actual story of the anime. It doesn't have any type of changes or twists like other series that they have done about Dragon Ball Z games, where they are, I don't know, introducing a time travel mechanic, or you are like a time traveler patrolman, and you have to beat the crap out of the people who are trying to change the timeline, and that has been like the prerogative of all the most recent games that are not like purely fighting games. This is not like that. This is just like the basic story, like rewatching the anime, simplified, and just advancing step by step. It's been refreshing.
So do you get to play through the 2.5 hours of dialogue between fight scenes? Is that what's going on? Is that it?
There are some cutscenes where you can definitely there are fights that are entirely done in cutscenes, and then you just grab, because I think there are only like 4 playable characters that you can control. So usually any other fight that doesn't involve those characters is either going to be just a cutscene, or they will skip it and there's going to be like a dialogue box explaining what happened, and you move forward. But yeah, I don't know. It's refreshing, as you said. My Destiny activity, my Destiny 2 activity for the past month has been doing 1 or 2 things in game and then logging off. I did play a lot of Destiny 1 with some of my SGC friends. We were playing with Finch, with Dark Angel, with Ravi. We basically did all of D1 from the first campaign all the way to Rise of Iron 2 weeks ago and 1 week ago. But this week was like we're done. We already got like to the end game. We don't want to continue grinding just to get to light 400. At least not yet. We're saving that for the next D2 route. But yeah, that's what I've been up to.
Very cool. Very good. Those are. I like that. That was a little bit of different stuff. I've been playing Baldur's Gate. I picked it up just because everybody's been talking about it. Well, I don't know. I'm an old man and I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, so there's the game does not teach you how to play it. That's for sure. So it's taken me some time to get into it and try to understand the mechanics and all the stuff you can do. I keep seeing on TikTok all these crazy things that you can do in game that just like I personally wouldn't even think of unless I've seen them on there. So I think that's a really neat mechanic. Well, I guess it's not so much a mechanic as it is just like the developers have seemed to think about everything. And there isn't a lot of talk about any real issues with the game, game breaking problems. So when you've got an open game that wide, and there's all these things that you can do in it that are just like off the beaten path, off the trail, that there's always an answer for in the code. It's a really cool and interesting concept, and definitely probably hard to pull off. So good stuff. Good stuff on, I think it's Larian Studios. It's the name of the developer.
Yep.
I never played any of the Divinity games, even though I have Divinity 1 and 2. So I never really got into their games before. So this will be the real first one that I dive into. But I'm only about 3 or 4 hours in right now. And yeah, I'm doing good. And I'm trying not to save scum because Twitter told me that if you do that, you suck. So.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to trust the dice. Trust the dice is what they say.
I was going to say that the only bit of controversy, there's 2 bits of controversy. One is the whole save scumming thing, which is, we talked about last week, but the other one is some devs going on to say, don't expect this level of polish from other games. Thank you.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
What I think
That's how many devs at this point.
What I think about funny is that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's.
I was going to say I saw that article on IGN and probably a couple other places, and then I read the articles and it was like 1 comment or 2 comments, and I was like, and the title of the article is like developers terrified that this is the new standard for RPGs, and I thought to myself, it's like, good games come out all the time. Nobody thinks Zelda is the new standard for action adventure games, but it's like the best one. Nobody thought it was a new standard when Breath of the Wild came out. Nobody thinks it's a new standard now that Tears of the Kingdom came out. People are still going to put out their games with their budgets, and people are going to understand that, $200 million wasn't spent on this game. It's not the same like, gamers have understood that for years. Like, when a really good game comes out, we don't expect every game to be exactly like that one. Sure, it would be nice, but like, I don't think developers have to worry. And I also think that these publications have overblown that comment. Like,
Well, of course.
I don't
They have to.
I don't think developers are like shaking in their boots that nobody's going to buy their game because it's not as good as Baldur's Gate 3.
Listen, Twitter now pays people, or X now pays people based on engagement. They have to put out as much inflammatory bullshit as they can.
Yeah.
You gotta get those clicks.
I mean, it works. I went on there and said it. I was like, developers aren't scared. What are you talking about?
I do feel that some developers, like, there were some comments, and there has been some doubling down from some studios saying, like, yeah, we don't expect our games to be exactly like this. More than exactly, like, don't expect this level of content in terms of quality and quantity out of new games going forward. Treat Baldur's Gate as an exception to the rule of what we all can put out on day one, which I think sucks, because honestly, most of these games are like AAA developers who can absolutely, or should absolutely be putting out games in a better state than they are usually doing. I think we have had a very interesting year with a couple of games great games. You said Tears of the Kingdom, Final Fantasy 16, Baldur's Gate now, even Diablo 4, that have come out day one with very few things, close to none things that require actual fixing. That, like, any type of stuff that the devs do is more focused on balancing the game, as Diablo 4. And I mean, that to me feels absolutely great. And I think that should be the standard that people are referring to. releasing games that are actually finished, that are actually polished, and that don't require the devs to continue to work on them past the launch date.
Oh yeah, I absolutely believe that should definitely be a standard, but unfortunately,
That's not the case.
publishers need their money in their
Pockets.
well, they need it in their financial year.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
true.
they put down $100 million or whatever it is, and they report to all their investors that say we're going to get a return on this money in 2023. And if the game's not ready, that doesn't matter to them. They need that return on that money in 2023 financial year. So that's when it comes back. And, you know, I understand in a way, because I understand how companies work and how investors work and how stocks work and all that stuff. Is just really annoying that they do that. And it's nice to see some of them like are learning from it. I mean, I don't think Sony's had that issue in a pretty long time. They've been dropping, or I mean, they've been delaying games if they need it, and then they usually come out with a pretty pristine polish on it. I mean, you were talking about Activision games because we were talking about Diablo. They pump those games out, but I can't think of I don't know. I guess that's a bad example because Overwatch sucked, but you know, the Call of Duties usually come out pretty polished and good to go. And you said Diablo 4 was, well, it was a good game for a couple weeks. They killed it with that.
Then they they tried to balance it.
Oh man, did they ever?
Did you see the article about Blizzard's already talking about Diablo 5?
No.
Why? Because they shit the bed with 4?
They made a comment that was picked up by one of those video game urinalists that you know, they said don't expect Diablo 5 to take as long to put out as Diablo 4 did.
Oof.
Which, you know, makes you wonder if they're already working on it.
I mean, I don't know. Most studios at this point, I feel that they are just trying to see what franchise they can either continue or just bring back to life to like do stuff. Not many studios or AAA studios are working on new IPs to bring them cash. And not only in video games, like if you go and see Hollywood, it is just full of
sequels and shit.
Sequels, prequels, remakes, spin-offs, and like the amount of originality that we are exposed to these days is on the low side. So it makes sense that they are starting to work in Diablo 5 now.
Listen, if I bought into a game that was going to have a seasonal structure, was already AAA cost, had a microtransaction shop, also is going to have paid DLC at some point down the road, and they're already talking about the next one,
I agree. That doesn't mean that they like, but at the same time, I can absolutely see them doing it because it's what Weir says. Devs at the end of the day are not the ones in charge. I am sure that if it was up to the devs, they would continue to work on the same games for years. But the ones who are basically putting the money are the publishers, and they don't care.
I mean, it depends too, right? So imagine this: you have a budget for a game, and it budgets your pay along with all of your developers for 4.5 years, and then they say, you know, guys, once that 4.5 year mark hit, you can keep working on the game, but we're not going to pay you anymore. You think they're going to keep working on the game? Absolutely not. So
that's true.
To a publisher, it's kind of the same concept. Not the same, but the same idea. Here's $150 million. This is going to take, you're going to spend all this money in exactly 4 years and 6 months. They've published, or they've recorded that they're going to make $100 million profit on it, so that's $250 million. But if they have to work on it for another 2 years, basically what's happening is they're cutting into that $100 million profit, maybe turning it down to 50, and then, you know, that's in a budget. I used to do budgets for my company. I know what it feels like when you don't hit your budgets. It's terrible, and everybody blames you, even though it's not your fault, and it sucks. So I get the concept. I hate it, but I get the concept. And I wish more developers what's the word I was looking for? Production. Fuck. God damn it! I just used it like 3 times. There's directors,
Publishers?
Publishers. Yes, thank you. I wish publishers just like cared a little more. Some of them do. Just some
Well, I
of them
mean,
do.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate, full
Yeah.
game, never going to be microtransactions. We'll probably be some DLC down the road, but that's it.
Mhm.
That's it. And AAA game price, go for it. If Blizzard had put out Baldur's Gate, you'd be paying for like NPCs and paying for unlocking additional classes and whatever.
Classes and subclasses and everything like that. Races? Nah. Pay.
You want a bigger backpack? Give me $10.
Well, hold on. Did Larian Studios have a publisher, or did they publish their own game?
I don't know if they're self-published or not.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Who published Baldur's?
I mean, I'm thinking,
3?
what other like publisher has been putting out games? Yeah,
Larian Studios published it, so there's the difference, right? They developed and published the game, which means, they didn't have to answer to anybody. They knew how much money they had to spend. They knew how much money they were going to make off of it. Well, I guess they didn't know how much money they were going to make off of it, but the general concept is the better the game you have, the more money you make. So they put the money into it, and here you go. Now you've got a release of an incredibly successful game that's going to make them an absurd amount of money because it doesn't appear that they had a publisher. I could be wrong. Larian Studios.
No, it says Larian developed and published the game themselves.
Yeah, good for them. Yeah. I mean, if we had more developers with that amount of money, like in their pocket, where they could publish and develop their own games, we would get some of the best games in the history of mankind.
I mean, we could, but we could also get a case like Star Citizen being developed and published by Cloud Imperium Games, where
you're right.
Every single dollar, like they just put out new things and they promise more new things and they release 10% of the things that they're promising, and they have an amazing game, but at the same time, the amount of things that they have promised is so far away from being ever accomplished, and they have almost a printing money machine at this point.
My game's still in beta. Would you please give me $5,000 for this ship? And I mean actual money, unironically.
Alpha.
Yeah, it's probably
Alpha.
I find it unbelievable that people pay that much for a fucking ship in the game. And they sit here, and it's the same people that are playing Destiny and complaining about Eververse. Like, what the fuck is happening?
The amount of people that I have met in both, like, that are cross community between Destiny and Star Citizen, it's crazy. I mean, I play a bit of Star Citizen every now and then, but I think I only pay the $40 for a starter ship, and everything that I have, I have owned it in game.
The only reason I have Star Citizen is because of a member of the community wanted me to play it with him, so he bought it for me.
Oh.
And then I never played with him.
I mean, you can play with me. I wouldn't object.
I booted the game up once, and I tried to like walk down the hall, and it was like, I don't know, it was like 10 frames per second, and I'm like, no, I'm not playing this shit.
Yeah, it's 20 frames. It's usually the average that you get in really populated places and zones.
Oh, okay. So once I get into space, it'll be better.
Yeah, it gets better. It gets not 60 FPS better, 30 to 40 FPS average, but
Okay, so
it's something.
All right, maybe we don't want developers publishing their own games because then we'll end up with more of that. I don't want to play games anymore that aren't 60 frames per second, like ever, like in my life.
You don't want to enjoy your $5,000 ship in 30 or less FPS?
Yeah, 15 FPS.
I mean, it looks choppy, but the details on the sheep are amazing.
Great.
Well, it actually kind of always made me wonder, because I have seen like shit on TikTok where some of these, there's a couple streamers that play Star Citizen and they have like the dual joysticks and they do racing. There's like racing in it, and their video looks incredibly smooth. And I was like, my computer doesn't suck that much. Why is, like, it's pretty good, You know, I only have a 3
it-
series graphics card, but I mean, it's still a 3070. Like, it's pretty strong. I got a good Intel CPU. Like, why doesn't my game look like that? You know, like, I don't get what they're
It
doing.
depends on many things. I mean, it also depends on the patch, because that's the other thing. The alpha patch changes, and some, like, I don't know, 3.17 was a very smooth patch. Right now, the game is in 3.20, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and it's stable again. But 3.18 and 3.19 were choppy as fuck. Because the moment, like, every time that they implement a new piece of big technology, like, the game gets better in some regards, but also the optimization gets all the way sent back all the way to square one, basically.
Right. I guess I don't.
So
How big is that development team?
it's big.
Okay.
It's like, if you go, I think if you go to Robert's Space Industries, which is, it always cracked me up that the name of the industry, it's really Robert Space Industries, like, as in if it's a real, I don't know, space thing.
That's funny.
But they have a roadmap, and you can see all of the teams that are working on the game. Let me see if I can count them.
I was just curious because, like, I mean, I guess I don't know. It seems like that game's been in development forever, and
almost 10 years.
and it's not like, I mean, it's a big game, but there's other games that are much bigger and took way less time.
I think the problem they have is, first, they're not only developing 1 but 2 games, because they also have Squadron 42, which
Yeah,
is
like the
the
single-player
solo
version?
campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, the single player thing with, like, Mark Hamill and, like, these huge cast of stars.
But
Most of the resources these days are going to that, not to the not to Star Citizen itself. But also, they have a problem with the technology, which is basically they are trying to create a server meshing thing. First of all, they wanted a universe where you could leave everything and it would persist there forever. So if I join a server and I park my ship in planet X, and then I get DC'd, yes, the ship's going to remain there unless someone destroys it. And even if it's destroyed, the wreck of the ship is going to remain there for people to salvage it and stuff. That took a lot of time to develop. They finally implemented that, but now the problem that they have is that it remains, but it only remains on the server that you were logged in at that point. They are developing the second part of the technology, which is the server meshing thing, where your stuff will be moving through servers always with you. That is the other, like, big thing. Once they get through that obstacle, in theory, the game should probably be able to go to beta, and from there to, like, full release should not take a long time. But you never know.
I heard about that technology, and it was supposed to change the world.
In theory,
when it actually gets made, but anyway, we'll see. Yeah, that would be cool if we could have a persistent universe world that's the same universe for everybody. I feel, I guess, I don't know. How does Elite Dangerous work? It's online. I've flown somewhere in that game where my friend was, and we met up. We never joined the same server. Like, doesn't that mean that everybody's on the same server? Like, I guess I don't understand how their technology is different.
I think the problem between Eve and Elite and Star Citizen resides more in the, probably, I don't know, details in some other core mechanic. Like, I don't remember if it's both on Eve and Elite that you basically are always on the cockpit. Like, you never go out, you never go inside of the ship,
You can go out in Elite now. I don't think you ever could in Eve, but for a long time Elite you couldn't. But they introduced new DLC that allows you to. The first DLC allowed you to go down on a lander on moons and planets and stuff, which you weren't able to before. It was just flying around, going to space stations. And then there was a new one that I haven't played yet or even bought because I kind of stopped playing the game. But there's foot mechanics.
Okay, foot stuff.
So I don't know how deep it is or what it is or if there's guns or anything like Star Citizen, but
It might have to do something with it. I don't know, because I mean, since instead isn't like you are like one character who's interacting with everything. Like your character is not the ship, but can interact with the ship. Maybe I don't know, something about the engine. That's the point where I have to remember that I'm actually a musician and a journalist and not a developer, and that these concepts, even though I can grasp some of them, that's the exact point between like trying to understand why Eve and Elite work and Star Citizen don't. That's where you lose me.
Well, that's all I wondered, and I could understand. Like, I played lots of MMOs and stuff, and you got to pick the server you're on. But in those games, like, it was a perfect example when you brought up EVE Online. Like, I don't ever remember picking a server, but there was like 150,000 people on it, and then when you just meet up in a certain place in the universe, or there was a great big space battle, like everybody would go there. You didn't have to change server; you went to that location, and so when I heard about this technology and how it's supposed to change the gaming space, and I'm like, how's it different than some of these other games that don't appear to do that? But maybe they have server zones or something like that, and it's a little bit different where you go to a different area and you transfer to a different server, and that's why you're able to meet up and that type of stuff. And then I thought about it in my head. I was like, maybe this server meshing thing it's supposed to somehow do that, but have all the server information transferred to all the other servers. That way, like, if you did leave your ship there, this server knows that, and or something like that. I don't know, and I'm not sure. Anyway,
we'll have to see.
Apparently, it's going to change the world, so we'll see.
Yeah, Star Citizen is my very long investment game. Yeah. Like I'm planning on playing that when it releases long after Destiny has died. So I am in no hurry. We have still a witness to fight and apparently more stuff to come after it. So
that's what they said.
Yeah.
In fact, we'll probably talk about we'll talk about that a little bit today, and we should probably get into some Destiny stuff since we've been recording for 30 minutes. that was a big opening sequence. I did enjoy the talk about other space games. It's fun. I do enjoy them. Space is my favorite genre when it comes to gaming. I don't know why. I love it. So Starfield is obviously on the horizon, and super excited that it doesn't suck. Please, for the love of God, Bethesda, please. I don't have, they make good stuff typically, but Fallout 76 sucked.
Good buggy stuff, but buggy
it's always
in a
buggy,
good way.
But it's usually good.
Yeah,
regardless, even though there's bugs in it. So yeah, I'll be playing that soon. Hopefully, it's good. Super excited for it. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get into Star Citizen when it's not a pile of dog shit. One day, maybe. We'll see. All right, so I figured we'd start off today just going. They dropped an article today about the season 22 artifact perks. Figured we just go over them quickly, nothing too crazy, but give people an idea of what's coming. I figured I would just mention the weapon, the champion modifiers for the weapons. So we're getting an anti-barrier auto rifle next season. Overload machine guns, which is cool. Yep, perfect. Looks like a barrier bow, which I do like barrier bow, so that's good. Yeah. There is something else I noticed. Is this like, was this always a thing that these champion modifier guns every season were overcharged automatically?
Yes. Yep. That has been the thing ever since they released that new
overcharge stuff, which was just
the overcharge thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I just never noticed it, but that's okay. Cool. There is a mention down here that some of them aren't working.
Yeah.
The overload and the machine gun and the hand cannon. So I guess the overload stuff is not working, and they're gonna fix it with a patch later down the road.
It wouldn't be a Destiny content release if something wasn't broken.
You gotta love seeing the known issues and having stuff up like from upcoming patches, like that has not released yet, but it's already broken. Gotta love to see it.
And they haven't fixed it yet. Anyway, Unstoppable Scout. We're getting Unstoppable Scout. We're getting Overload Hand Cannon, as mentioned before. Unstoppable Fusion. Should be interesting. Have we had that in a while? I don't feel
I was actually thinking of Unstoppable Fusion rifles. I think yesterday I was doing the Lost Sector, and I was like, man, it's been a long time. probably since Season of the Splicer or Season of the Lust.
Okay, so a while ago. Cool. All right, so we'll go across the top here now. So we're doing the Arc Strand combo. Cool. These Thetonic Tangles, strand weapon final blows have a chance to generate it. Okay, cool. Yep. Whatever. Don't care about the overlay. And then this one in column 5, dealing elemental ability damage increases matching weapon damage. That's neat. And elemental damage or weapon damage increases matching ability damage. Okay, so basically it's bonus. Like if you're playing solar, you're going to want to grab a solar weapon so you can buff your weapon and or your ability power. That's neat. I like that. Cool concept. I don't know if 10 cent will be enough to make me care, but it might. Who knows?
It's a returning one. The monochromatic maestro. Yeah.
Neat.
It's a returning one.
Yeah, it's a little bit different than what it was before, though.
Yeah.
And then we get a Solar Strand combo. The Origin perk specializations usually. Okay, so that makes them overcharge. We have things like this now for all this stuff. All right. Cool. Oh, and the redacted one. Nice. From the next season. Elemental Fury. While stunned, champions take bonus damage from your abilities and elemental orb damage. Okay. That's good. Rapid Fire Ranger. Rapid precision hits made from long range weaken the target. Cool. It's like a... So it's like that'd be good for scout or hand cannons, stuff like that. I assume that's what they mean by long range. I guess I don't know how far long range is.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's probably like 30 meters or some shit. I don't know.
We'll take out Darcy and we'll measure.
And test it, yeah. We're getting a Void Strand combo. Perfect. A lot of Strand combo. Everything's Strand combos. Arc Strand, Solar Strand, Void Strand. Damn. All right, cool. And then Elemental Orbs for Void. If you're using the Void subclass, Void Weapon Final Blows have a chance to spawn a Void Elemental Orb. Void Orbs can be thrown to create Void Explosions that make enemies damages volatile. So this is like a new Strand Void Bulb, like the ones we get now for Strand, but they're for Void.
Yeah.
And they make everything volatile, so they'll explode and kill everything when you kill them with your Void weapons after they're volatile. That's cool.
Is it?
Yeah, they are like a combination of tangles and the throwable Warmind cells, for what I can see.
Do you not
is
like
it
this?
Cool or is it boring and uninspired?
Actually, I get that. I don't particularly like throwing the strand tangles, so. But this, I don't know. The volatility may make it more interesting for me to use.
I realize we have to get to the other orb types, but 3 of the perks on here are these elemental orbs.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes,
they are. Okay, let's see.
And it feels really like phoned in to me.
I don't know. I actually kind of like the concept here. Like, I liked this too, where they did Arc Strand, Soul Strand, and Void Strand, because I don't think they have all 3 this season. You know, I don't like playing whatever one is this season. Like, I like playing Void, but all my Void stuff are 3 ability, energy, whatever the fuck they're called. So this will be the similar. Like, I can play whatever I want and still get to do these things on all of my classes.
This is going to be the first season that we don't get an actual focus on mods like that. Like, just having one type of things that is discounted. We won't have the melee, the grenade, or anything, or even the siphons, discounted siphons. We just have the combo ones.
Yeah, which I'm cool for. I like the siphons. All right, so
Communal pickup.
Okay, yeah, I'm just reading it again. Anyway, where were we here? So this one, it's this one. So a tangle or elemental orb. So basically, they wanted this, so they're like, okay, we need to make sure there's orbs for every. Wait, is there a stasis orb No.
No.
No. All right. Anyway, tangles are elemental orb. The tangle cooldown is reduced by 5. Okay, and you gain bonus damage with weapons matching your subclass for 10 seconds.
Listen, this year Stasis is in the corner hanging out with Gambit. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. I hear that. Basically reading these. All right, so elemental embrace. So subclass elemental buffs grant you bonus recovery and damage. Resistance against combatant attacks of matching elemental type. Okay, cool. All right, so then we got the origin perk specialization. Perfect. Yeah, that's normal. Now this is the arc one, arc orb, and the arc orb explosion that jolts targets that damages. Okay, that makes sense.
That one's going to be powerful in some context.
Yeah, probably. Jolt's pretty strong. Picking up a tangle or elemental orb grants energy to your least powered ability. Okay, neat.
Okay.
Elemental munitions. Combatant final blows with tangles or elemental orbs have the chance to drop special or heavy ammo. Okay, so there you go. That'll solve our bugged double special nerf that's coming. Maybe. Anyway, all scavenger mods are discounted. Okay, cool. This is the solar orbs. They explode to cause scorch damage. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I get it. Semi-auto striker. All right. If you have fewer than 2 stacks of armor charge, rapid precision shots with bows, snipers, and scout rifles generate an armor charge. That is boring. All right. No thanks.
Yeah.
There's so many orbs nowadays, unless they nerf orb drops, that you never have to worry about having armor stacks. And then your armor charges grant bonus damage to your thrown tangles or elemental orbs. Your armor charge now decays over time. Okay.
So over half the perks that are not champion mods are
orb mods.
They're all orbs. It's going to be the season of picking up and throwing orbs.
It's going to be the season of the orbs.
And
you're just going to see orbs flying everywhere.
I predict that once everybody's got access to all the perks, it's going to be fun and novel for about an hour, and then it's going to be boring as fuck.
I don't know. I can see the elemental orbs being an interesting, again, successor to the idea of Warmind cells with volatile, the jolt, and also the scorch, which I assume eventually, if we have enough scorch, it will also generate ignite. I could see it being useful in scenarios and fun.
I'm not saying that it's not going to be useful. It's probably going to end up being meta. It's just going to be boring. That's all.
Yeah.
I play Destiny to shoot guns and throw grenades, not ignore my abilities so I can pick up a Warmind cell and throw it at people constantly.
This is going to be
with this shirt, I am entitled to pick shit and throw it.
I also thought Warmind cells were incredibly boring, incidentally.
Makes sense.
Oh no, I loved Warmind cells. They were really cool. You could do so many different builds with them. And they're really neat.
Yeah.
But this reminds me of just the Dawning, where there was snowball things everywhere, and you would just pick up snowballs and biff them at enemies over and over again. Except for now, it's going to be elemental orbs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we've done this before. You know what I mean?
We did do it before, except for those are the stasis orbs, the snowballs, because they would freeze people. So
now that you mention it,
so during the Dawning this year, we'll have all 5 orbs ready to go. We'll have Tangles, Void, Arc, Solar, and Stasis.
We'll see, because these are artifact mods. They should be able to then translate them into permanent armor mods. You would think.
God, I hope not.
I think that's the test. I think Bungie didn't introduce them as pure armor mods just to test how they actually interact with the sandbox, and if they feel that everything just starts going to them, they'd probably be like, nah, this is just going to be a seasonal thing that we will bring every now and then.
Yeah. All right. Or every season. Just make it artifact mods every season so they don't have to think of new ones.
Oh, that would suck, but I can definitely see them doing it.
I can see them doing that, absolutely.
Oh.
All right. So All right, we went over the artifacts. Yeah, it seems to be Season of the Orb. Wouldn't that be funny if that's what they called it? If it came out on Tuesday and it was like Season of the Orb.
And the artifact is an orb, and
I mean,
you
I would
need an orb
respect it.
to
Yeah.
resurrect Savathun or something.
Oh my god, that'd be incredible. All right, so let's go. All right, we're gonna move on to the weapon balancing preview. This shit is insanely insane, so we're not gonna go all over it. The first half of the article is literally them
Math.
reviewing. Well, it's them reviewing the mid-season balance and you know what's going on. A bunch of numbers, bunch of graphs. We're not gonna talk about this shit. Whatever.
There is one interesting thing to be said about it that you don't have to actually get into the numbers about.
What's that?
People have been bitching and moaning about not enough high skill play, not enough hand cannons out there, yada yada yada. However, according to Bungie's data, in high level PvP, the people who complain about this shit the most, what's the most used weapon out there right now? Hand cannons.
Yeah.
Fucking bitches. Shut your mouths.
Pulses and hand cannons, over 25% of the population.
Right there, hand cannon.
All of them are going to say, we don't know anything. Bungie's not giving us the data. Shut the fuck up and sit down, you dumb bitch.
I actually feel seeing the Vex Meta class basically overperforming at almost at over 25% kills over expected. It's interesting. Like, no one is using it, but the people who are using it are definitely doing something.
Okay, so all right, I didn't really look at this too heavy, but it's a really good point. Like, hand cannon at the front, immortal at the front. They changed the patch. Hand cannon still at the front, immortal still way ahead, and then we're moving down. You know, next one, hand cannon, pulse and auto are catching up. But what happened here where the centrifuge became the most used gun over the immortal? What the fuck?
That's a good question.
This
is whole skill.
Well, that chart. So what they mentioned in the chart is that when you look at the previous charts are all high skill PvP only, right? It's people above a certain MMR. That last chart is when they open it up to everything, and in the lower bracket, auto rifles are the most used weapon.
Okay, so we got a bunch of dorks running around with centrifuge and quicksilver, and then and that puts the immortal out. Okay,
yeah,
so that's everyone. Okay, that makes more sense. But hand cannon is still a lead overall by quite a margin, 4%.
Yep,
it's pretty neat. Pretty neat.
That's all right because we're not in a hand cannon meta.
I mean, people do complain about it, and that's pretty much like, here you go, idiots. Here's proof. All right, so go over a couple things. This is pretty important. This is a big one. The 2 special weapon equip now generate heavy ammo at the same rate as 2 primaries or a primary and a special. So the 2 special heavy bug, they called it a bug, is going to be fixed.
I feel that people is more worried about this because many people have never take the time to sit down and really understand how the ammo generation works in the game. If you are not using any ammo finder mod, you are going to be spawning a heavy brick every between 16 and 17 kills. With anything like grenade abilities, any type of weapon. That is still good enough to run double special. The problem is when you slot the finder mods and then you need to be killing stuff with primary weapons to get somehow consistent numbers. But like that's what people don't understand. So for next season, don't use finder mods and people should be like fine.
I don't know much. I just like running double special and getting lots of heavy. And then RIP.
Listen. Running a solo dungeon right now, running solo ghost right now already takes enough time as it is. Having to get a bunch of extra kills in order to get the heavy I need to initiate the damage phase. is just too far. It's just too much. I'm already in here for like 47 phases on the final boss. I don't need to do any more than that. Please, for the love of God, Bungie. If you're gonna mess with the double special meta, at least change the scaling for when people are doing their solo stuff a little bit.
There you go. Okay, the next part in here talks about the damage the zoom and damage fall off tuning of zoom and whatnot. Bunch more numbers. The new ADS damage fall off scaler. Blah 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 blah.
All right, here's the TLDR.
Go ahead.
All the mid-range weapons are pretty much neck and neck now. All right.
Cool.
So your hand cannons, your pulse rifles, your auto rifles, they're all gonna have damage fall offs that are basically the same. There'll be a 1 meter variance between some of them, but that's it. Scout rifles are going to be exceptionally dangerous in PvP on long range maps next season because they basically have no damage fall off on any map in the game. And SMGs have been reined in to 18 meters. There you go. Start looking at things other than rangefinder if you're most concerned with damage fall off, and start looking at things like keep away and encore and killing wind and stuff that are going to give you actual stat bonuses to your range, because you're going to get much more use out of them if you want to be able to reach out and touch somebody.
That's what I got out of it.
I'm not a PvP player. I'll let that leave that to you two.
Yeah, I read some of the stuff about rangefinder. Like the rangefinder is not going to be producing as big a buff to the damage fall off as it was in the past, and some things are just being brought more in line with others. And then SMGs, always still problematic. So, there's some custom tuned exotic ranges, which is great, super awesome. Whatever. See, the problem with this is I don't know what their current scaler is. So, like, I'm reading Vex Mythical Class now has a 1.5x ADS damage fall off scaler. Is that up from 1.0? Like, is that what they're trying to say? So it's going to increase by half?
Yeah, is it a buff or a nerf, basically? We don't know.
Well, what because you don't have the data here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put on my spin foil hat for a second. This is all just a way for them to give the content creator analysts something to go figure out and publish their videos on. So they don't give us the full data on anything, and that way their content creation partners have something to work with.
Well, I get that.
Makes sense.
That does make sense. But when I look at this, I'm just like, okay, so are all
It doesn't mean anything.
Well, originally I was like, okay, so are all these based on 1.0, and then so this is getting a 0.1 increase, this is getting a 0.3 increase. But then I was going down here and I was like, there's no way this is being increased by 140%. So I was like, okay, so yeah, not knowing what these are right now makes it really difficult to know if these and I mean most of the stuff got nerfed, so chances are these are increased fall off. Yeah. Increased damage fall offs. Or like it starts earlier, or the damage falls off more, or whatever. I don't know.
The stated goal is to bring ranges down.
Yeah.
So
that's
I can definitely see people going into Crucible right now, customs with Ace, Devils, Revision, and all of the weapons, measuring the damage that they are doing at different ranges so that they can repeat the tests after the patch hits to understand. Like what Rex is saying makes a lot of sense.
I've already gone into my vault and started marking things that I'm not going to delete anything just yet, but I would say a good third of my PvP weapons are probably going to get replaced with something else, because the other bonuses that go with rangefinder that are not damage fall off aren't going to be worth it on the same guns. I'd be better off with something else.
Gotcha. All right, so
I think I have 6 PvP exclusive weapons in my vault, and 2 of them are crafted.
Cool. All right, so here's some weapon archetype changes. I wanted to hit on hand cannons because this is a buff. We're getting faster reloads and we're getting more
Huge
damage.
buff in some cases.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
drop it or increasing the zero. The reload size 0. One of the biggest issues with hand cannons is a lot of them are really slow reload if you don't have perks to increase the speed of that. So increasing the very bottom of the barrel reload to 15% from where it is now. I assume that continues on all the way to the top. So basically, we're getting a 15% reload buff, which is nice. Damage against minor 20%. Damage against major. This is a huge one right here for me. Because the issue, a lot of the biggest issue with me in PvE is, damage against orange and yellow bars. Like,
if you're gonna have a
it's really
gun
low.
where you're gonna have to be up close to them, where you're in the danger zone, not just sitting in the back plinking with a scout rifle.
Yeah.
You need to be able to actually hurt them.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I am wondering.
This is nice. It almost doubles the damage, like to the orange bars. Now it doesn't help with yellows, but it's better than nothing.
That's fair. Hmm.
Because
Yeah,
they're
no,
different,
that-
right? Yellows are mini bosses, right? Like they're
No, yellows are yellows are majors, but those are the ones that are like they have a shield instead of having a triangle icon. Yellows are the mini bosses, and oranges are the minor majors, which is
The minor
a terrible way to describe it.
All right. Yellows are majors. Oranges are minor majors.
Basically.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, either way, like I knew there were. That's different. So it's not going to help on yellows, which is weird, but there's more oranges typically in a standard space than yellows, right? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So Warden's Law, they're making a change. Whatever. Fires 2 round bursts. Why do I keep getting messages? Hold on, I gotta answer this. Grace wants me to stir the pork, but she clearly must not be home. She knows I'm doing the podcast. All right. Anyway. So, all right. So that's as far as I made it on this. I'm not gonna lie. Other than the Monte Carlo stuff, which we'll go over. There's more stuff here about bows. Let's see here. I don't want to read through all this on here, so I guess I am. Reduce the minimum animation duration. Okay, this is a buff, right? Yeah, cool. All right. Reduce animations means reload speed scalers on top of high reload stats will still have an effect. Cool. Increase project velocity at full draw. Yep. Bing, bong, boom. Equalize the full draw projectile velocity with precision bows. Okay. Equalize the full draw projectile velocity. Okay. Well, I don't know if equalize makes it higher or lower. So I don't know what that means. Something for our content creators to find out.
Yeah.
All right, this is just a display fix. The RPM on aggressives was displayed improperly. Sidearms, aggressives got a small nerf, nothing too big deal. BXR Battler must have been nerfed too hard because they buffed it back up, increased the zoom to 20. They dropped it recently.
Mm-hmm.
Shotguns. Oh, looks like they fixed impact stat on comedian. I guess it was broken. Didn't know. All right, fusion rifles. This is general. Fix an issue where adept masterworks and enhanced intrinsic perks were decreasing the damage dealt by fusions when they were changed the charge time stat. Okay. Man, I don't envy game developers having to figure all this shit out.
Yeah.
Okay, so waveframe and waveframe heavy grenade launchers. Bruff increasing the AOE damage. Oh wait, it's reduced.
They're gonna do
They got
more,
nerfed.
less damage to you, basically.
The size of damage of the self damage. Oh, the self damage AoE is
Mm-hmm.
gonna be okay. That's good. Okay, so that's not. It should make it much safer. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Oh, to fire them at your feet. I guess I don't really use a lot of heavy wave frame.
I think we only have
I only use
There's
one.
only one.
Oh, okay.
the stasis one.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only wave frame I really use is the one from Vow. And
Yeah, that's a special.
yeah, exactly. So that's my point. And I can shoot it right at my feet, and it doesn't hurt me. Ever. Okay. All right. Perfect. Swords. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff about swords here, but
Yeah,
the only thing that I read really about swords, I did read about this. That was really interesting. Is this damage reduction getting a buff. We massively increased sword guard damage resistance, giving it between 82.5 to 95% damage reduction. That's crazy.
And you don't lose sword energy by blocking.
Mm-hmm.
So they really want to try to make swords PvE meta. I mean, that's pretty big. Like, that's a huge damage reduction. With imagine 100 resilience and 95% damage reduction with, I don't know, probably some other shit from the artifact or whatever it happens to be. That's like, that's a lot.
It's pretty
What is
deep.
100 right now? 30%? 30% resilience. I mean,
Yep.
100 is 30% resilience, so you got 95% damage reduction, 30% damage reduction, so that brings you up to 125% damage reduction, and then whatever, I don't know, whatever potential buffs and stuff that come with seasonal and armor mods, like, you probably get up to like 150% damage reduction. That's crazy. That's a lot of damage reduction. Anyway, whatever.
Break out your laments.
Break out your laments, baby. Let's go. It's time to rock and roll. Oh yeah, that'd be really strong for lament, right? Because
The laments and also the guillotines.
Well, I mean, you're using guard to charge up your lament, so it's already natural in the gameplay loop that you have that being buffed, and the more you charge it up, the stronger it is. So it's like it's a perfect combination of the two. Yeah, lament's gonna be strong next season. Wee doggy. All right, is there anything else on here that I care about? Oh wait, what's that? The Lament exotic sword has a special case, so its charge rate and delay are unaffected, but it still benefits from the damage. Okay, yeah, break out your laments. It's just I thought that was about to tell me that it doesn't count. I was like, oh no.
Now, the other thing that I think it's important to mention is that now you are going to be able to use the heavy attack with any sword as long as you have any sort of charge on them. You won't need to wait for the charge to fully come back. So stuff like guillotine, you're going to be able to do the spin attack, do 1 or 2 light attacks, then the spin attack again, instead of having to do like 5 or 6 attacks as it was back in the day without any mods. So vortex frames can be, they might be benefiting also from this type of play.
Okay, this is right here. We massively increase the rate of energy returns after the delay to compensate. These will increase even more at higher charge stats. Even after delay, swords now return to full energy from empty faster than before this rework. Okay. And the delay range of 2.7. Okay, so it starts a lot faster. Okay. All right, cool. Yeah, that's good. That is good. That will be helpful. I mean, good and helpful are two different things, right? This sounds like a really strong buff. Maybe, I don't know, maybe too much. I guess we'll see next season. I can see a lot of swords in solo content if you're getting or if you're getting an extra 100% damage reduction from the block. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Lament was already a good strategy, for example, for a Dar on the Ghost of the Deep. And well, if you also are getting the damage resistance, well, that's going to be huge.
All right, so Monte Carlo, we got the catalyst, the most complex one they ever made. There's a little video here. We're not going to watch it. Essentially, it shows the person shooting an ad and then power meleeing it, or whatever you call that, charge melee. And then once that's done, they like hit the Monte Carlo, like kind of twists and the blade glows, and then he one-shots orange bar or yellow bar. I don't remember.
He flips the
Orange.
switch. It activates the bayonet locked perk.
Yeah, and then he melees
And
with the gun.
yeah,
and it
his
one-shots
basic
them.
melee. Well, his basic melee is like the melee attack he does 116,000 damage in the video. His unpowered melee did like 7,500. Yeah, 7,534.
Mm-hmm.
So
80 something on the powered.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, there it is. Look, 116,000 and 19. Oh, wait, what? This is the powered one, right? Where was the unpowered one?
before that,
Oh, that one.
the very first
the powered melee hit.
Okay.
It was the 3 blades, and they're doing 8760 per blade.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, 8760 per blade. And then this one does 116,000 in one shot.
But also notice that the perk immediately drops after that one hit, so you're just going to get one hit most likely. Whatever you got to do to charge it up, and then you get a single strike.
Yeah.
Still pretty cool for a catalyst.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a beefy multiplier. 116k damage in a melee is.
So even the max amount of the charge melee is 24,000-ish if all 3 blades hit or whatever. In that instance, I don't know what they all are. Combination blow powered melee is like 80,000. So like obviously they're all different. But overall, yeah, neat. If it doesn't take too much to charge that up, then yeah, that's a really fun little catalyst that's gonna have people running around with some Monte Carlo action, especially
with
like lower end players that like auto rifles. Typically, it's a pretty common thing to medium to low tier players. Not in. I would make that clear. Not in skill, but in like amount of time played. Like if you've played Destiny a lot less in your career, the stats tend to indicate that you use auto rifles quite often. Is what I was trying to say. Not if you suck, you use auto rifles.
Might be also, true too. They are like auto rifles are also getting a bit buffed next season, and we're talking about a weapon, like an exotic, which has an intrinsic perk that gives you that melee energy. So if you're required to do something with your melee or to have the melee app, I can definitely think of very interesting combos.
I want to know if that melee works with combination blow on Arc Hunter
or Syntheseps.
Yeah, if it works in conjunction with, because it's still a melee. Oh well, I wonder if it's considered a melee. I guess. Is a glaive stab considered a melee when it comes to like buffing and stuff? I wonder.
In some stuff, yes. Actually, it got nerfed a bit, but it is. Okay. And you can see that the perk is actually replacing the melee ability charge on the lower part of the screen. So I would think that it should count.
It should actually. Yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, look at that. It did. Oh, and look, they have a full charge of their look at. Oh wait, no, they already had it. Never mind. Okay, cool. Yeah, I noticed that down there. Well, no, I looked at it after you said it, but interesting. Yeah, I'll play around with that. I like to see exactly how it works and how strong it is. It should be fun. And yeah, I get what they mean when they say it's the most complicated, catalyst they've ever worked on. It required a different animation and some different stuff and a different, it completely changes the concept of the gun, where most catalysts are just like, here's a faster reload speed or, more damage or something. So it's neat. It's good. It's good to see those. Hopefully they do more of them. Thorn next. What do you think, Rect?
Probably.
He's dead. It's okay. All right. We'll quickly go over some of these exotic things. This is just a fix of the reload animation for Quicksilver. Cosmetic fix for Dead Man's Tale. Rect told me earlier that Two-Tailed Fox currently shoots With the catalyst perk, it currently shoots 3 rockets at the same time. With this, it's going to fire them one after another in quick succession. Boom, boom, boom. Oh wait, 2-shot burst. So 2 rockets and then 1 probably. The extra bonus rocket.
Yeah.
All right, I did not read this. Okay, that's a buff for Vigilous Curve. That's good. I haven't used it since it was the seasonal bow. So that's shoot. When was it this season? Oh yeah, that was the beginning of Lightfall. First
Season of Defiance.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it hasn't been that long. All right. Le Monarch is getting a big nerf in PvP. So
I don't know if it's really a nerf. I think it's moving. Because yes, it's going to make less damage, but at the same time, you're going to be able to shoot it faster.
I mean, it's changing
Oh.
by 70 milliseconds. That's not a huge number.
The body shot damage is huge for PvP. The modifier to body shot damage is going to be big.
And also the poison is, it's not going to last like the same amount of time, but it's going to be doing the same amount of damage. So
yeah, but it's not necessarily the damage that's the problem, though. It's the amount of time it takes you to start regenerating health because of the DOT that's affecting you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, look at that. So it's the same amount of damage, but it goes down almost. So what is this? This makes no sense to me. Increase critical hit multiplier from 1.5 to 1.6. Usually that means that it goes up, but the damage is going down.
Because of the body shot going down.
Correct. Because crit damage is scalar to body shot damage. So if the body shot damage goes down, then your crit damage goes down. In order to compensate for that, they're increasing the modifier.
Mm-hmm.
So with the body shot modification, it would have been
lower
more than 136.
Or lower than 136. Yeah,
correct.
The drop would have been more. Okay. I didn't know that crit damage was a directly linked to body shot damage.
Yeah. The body shot damage is the damage the weapon actually does. The crit is a multiplier to the body shot damage.
Guardians usually have at a base resistance of 60. They have 200 or 300 HP usually.
Well, at 10 resilience, you have just over 200 hit points.
Okay, and it is still going to be probably a 2 headshot if you also count the poison damage.
Yeah, I mean you'll still be able to quick swap, which is fine.
Yeah, which is what you'd want to do anyway. Tag somebody with it and then shoot them. All right. I was gonna say every bow is a 2-shot crit kill.
Yeah.
So that doesn't. That's not why Le Monarch's strong. It's strong because of. So yeah, this dropping down from 150 to 136 must be a big deal. So that's cool. And then it's getting a buff for PvE. So let's go. Poison buff. I'll take it. I don't use it, but I'll take it. All right, Vex. They decrease the RPM by 30, and then increase damage to minor combatants and major combatants to make up the difference for it. I suspect.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why they bothered caring. Reduce one thing and increase another.
It's a PvP generated change. They're changing the RPM to balance it in PvP, but they're giving you more damage because of that in PvE.
Make up for it. Okay, that's fair. That makes sense. I think it's funny where they give like other high impact auto rifles. It's not even an auto rifle.
Yeah, it's
the fusion rifle that acts like an auto rifle.
That gun must be a nightmare to work on, I assume, because of all that, those things.
Why didn't they just call it an auto rifle though? Just change it to an auto rifle, and then you don't have to worry about all that extra nonsense. I remember, that gun was so strong when it had the weaken debuff on all fusion rifles, and it was holy Christ, that gun's strong.
And it's that's a remnant from D1 precisely. Now I understand the reasoning, since D1 didn't have primary energy weapons, it made sense for it to be a fusion rifle that was instead of like an out rifle. But that's not the case in D2. They should absolutely just change the archetype.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so Tommy's matchbook, they kind of they updated the scorch value in Ashes from 14 to 15. It's kind of just must be balancing it out for some reason. I don't really know why, but whatever. Don't care. This one's bigger. Touch of Malice, final round, cannot kill you anymore. And it's getting a PV damage buff.
Big buff.
Anyway, this is a buff all around. Sorry, excuse me. That's pretty much it. It's a big buff. It's a big buff all around. So this gun might actually be usable next season. So keep an eye out for that. You might see a little bit more Touch of Malice run around. Malfeasance. This is just it's a game fix, visual fix. Stuff. Not important. Cloud Strike's getting a PvP nerf. I mean, I guess technically it's both, but really I feel like this is being put in there so people don't get as far kills with the perk as they have been in PvP. If you don't understand what I mean, for people that are watching, when you shoot somebody in the head and then you get the lightning strike, it's not gonna kill as far away as it used to. And then Wicked Implement is getting Headstone perk. Some other stuff, but that's the big one that actually makes the Catalyst worth it. Sorry, the Catalyst of Wicked Implement is getting the Headstone perk. So we're getting a little bonus there. And it's nice that we're getting a little 1 second buff to creeping attrition as well.
It'll finally have some actual synergy with some stasis builds. I'm looking forward to trying it out. Even though I hate how it sounds and I hate how it looks and I hate its reticle. But I bought the ornament, so I'm gonna use it.
Cool.
That's what I was gonna say. There's Bungie like for you releasing an ornament to fix the gun to make it more usable. So
well, they did the complete opposite with Starfire Protocol. So
yeah,
they release the ornament and then nerf the exotic.
The ornament isn't even that good.
But it's an ornament. Everybody wanted one. They've been screaming for it for months. Even longer, probably. And then they released it and nerfed the exotic. So nobody was using it anymore. Anyway, I didn't go too much through the perks. I'll be completely frank with you. Ruck said Bipod is a nice buff that will make rocket launcher perks.
The bipod plus Envious Assassin changes are going to make... I forget the name of the rocket launcher from the Ghost Dungeon. It just flew out of my head, but that rocket launcher is going to be so good with these two buffs.
All right. So, Ghost of the Deep, Envious Assassin, Bipod. That's your new goal. The Bipod is giving damage penalty from 40 to 25%. Reduce the damage penalty. So that's nice. It makes it actually worth it. And then I don't know what this
Cold Comfort.
Okay,
Cold Comfort.
overflowed, and then and more ammo per kill. Okay, so basically what you're saying is you can get a pretty steady stream of rockets without reloading.
Especially if you're a hunter.
A nice little damage bonus, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's not a damage bonus, but it's less of a damage nerf, I guess.
I also think Envious Assassin is just a much better perk all around with these changes. It's going to be much more easy to use.
Good.
There's a much more value to it than there was before.
This I thought was funny when I read it, though. So this is nice. This dealing more damage to enhanced Dark Bell overshields, but like... Okay, never mind. I read this wrong. This makes way more sense. I read this as it does more damage to Lucent Moss, not enemies shielded by Lucent Moss. I was like, Lucent Moss are one-shot kills. Like, why do I need to do more damage? But okay, all right. Those
hey,
shields...
That was a preemptive buff for the next boss, a giant lucent moth.
Moth, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
okay, that makes
Agreener,
sense.
listen, next season they're buffing moths so that when you're in GMs, it takes 3 hits to kill them. Enjoy.
Nice. Love it.
Oh no, Light Blade would be.
Moths are only in 2 of the GMs, so I don't care. All right.
Imagine your master goes to the deep, and she summons the Air Force, and it's just over because there's nothing you can do.
Like nothing.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
I suppose.
no.
Reduce the maximum accuracy cone scalar from 0.5 to 0.75. So under pressure is getting a little bit of a. That's a buff, right? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the cone scale. Wait, I don't know. Is the cone getting bigger or is the scalar getting bigger?
It's reducing the accuracy bonus.
Yeah, it's a nerf for PvE.
Oh wait, yeah, reduce the maximum
PvP.
accuracy cone. Okay. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, I read. I'm done. Cool.
For under pressure fusion rifle users,
It's
basically.
the expected nerf we had coming for fusion rifles in PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Cool. Shoot to loot. We knew this was coming. Explosive damage now interacts with orbs of power. That's why people wanted like kinetic tremors on their shoot to loot scale rifles, right?
Yep.
And then whatever this is, no longer triggers a reload when shooting a special brick and could be not picked up while also having overflowed weapons. Cool. All right. Good. That's buffs. Buffs that shoot to loot. All right. I'll take it. Valiant Charge perk now deactivates after the initial sword swing. So now it's working as it was intended by the looks here. Okay, cool. Ambush no longer deactivates from healing, fall damage, or being shot by allies. Cool. I'll take it. Shot by allies, really? Fuck me. I didn't know that. That's funny.
That's.
Oh, man. All right. Explosive light. They fixed a bug where you were getting a free stack on the initial orb pickup, which sucks, but I mean, it's fine. It's how it's supposed to have worked. And chill clip. Reduce slow stacks from 60 to 40, so that's a nerf.
This is probably the biggest nerf to any weapon, the biggest change in here. It's gonna have the most wide-ranging effect. Pour one out for your chill clip fusion rifles, boys.
Yeah, doing this effectively takes it from a 2-shot to a 3-shot for freeze, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also the Wolfpack rounds is. I don't know if it's killing the Stasis rocket launcher whose name Bumping the Night. The Bumping the Night, but it can be a pretty damaging hit for the Bumping the Night. For sure.
Okay, so Bump in the Night, if you had chill clip, the Wolfpack rounds that are created by Gallahorn for that would count as like multiple.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would be able to have
freeze
one
everything
person
and kill everything in the world. Freeze and kill everything.
Basically, bosses just constantly creating freezing and shattering damage on bosses, plasma rockets. So it was a good combo if you had one person during raids using it. But
yeah, so long as it was a heavy weapon that was another rocket that was breaking the chill clip. It was because the chill clip, the shatter damage scales right with a rocket.
Exactly.
With the damage that breaks the shatter. So.
Okay, but it wasn't meant to work that way. Probably.
I mean, it is, but they just don't want. The whole reason that this is happening is because of fusion rifles. Again, it's fusion rifles and chill clip grenade launchers freezing champions right off the rip. That's why it's happening.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right. We're going to keep moving along just because this was long. Basically, this here says weapon progressing is getting a boost on Crucible, Trials, Dares, Wellspring, Gambit. So some for Gambit. That's nice. Well, let's go. It's the only thing I ever mentioned. And platinum score completions on Legendary. Okay, so they don't want you to speed run them to get the bonuses. You actually have to kill all the champions. All right, that's fair. I mean, I get it, but it's annoying. So that's nice to get those little boosts. Yeah, I'll take it for sure. Adding the capability to directly increase a weapon's level through currency expenditure. What? Sorry, I didn't read that. We can just pay to level up our weapons now?
Modes of light are kind of back.
All right, crafted enhanced
Yes.
weapons will both receive new mod slot and weapon detail where you can spend glimmer and enhancement cores to boost the level of the weapon. This mod will increase the weapon's level directly, leaving your existing progress towards a level untouched.
But it's a scaling cost.
I don't
The
care.
higher the higher the level, the more it's going to cost.
I've just got a huge boner though.
It's probably the strategy is going to be to buy, I don't know, the first levels that are like that still have value, and then from that point on loading up. I think the best part of this is that they are not touching the Shuro Chi farm. Like they're like, okay, you can still do it, but we're gonna give you more ways to level up weapons.
Well, I mean, only if this increase that they're talking about is meaningful, right?
I mean, they're like just the thing of the ammo going to the next level, like the ammo, no, the weapon experience going to the next level instead of just capping the thing once you finish an activity and then losing
that's
the
nice.
extra.
That's if you're at 30%.
That should be huge.
And you boost it, you'll be 30% at the next level.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Unless it's scaled based on what the percentage was, but we know they wouldn't write that into the code.
In order to get a gun to double enhanced, I think what's the average time in Shuro Chi? Like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes.
I don't know. I've never done it. I just play the game.
Yeah. So, for me, somebody who's willing to do that for a gun that I want the perks on, I don't think I'll ever spend the resources unless I'm getting very impatient. But to run activities instead, they would have to be very lucrative in order for me to go through that. In order for me to run a bunch of strikes or just do it in Crucible, it would need to be less than an hour and 45 minutes for me to even bother with it.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I would do it because I would also be getting value out of other stuff. I don't know, reputation, even loot stuff. But I can definitely see people being like, yeah, no. Which is why I think it's good that they are giving more options. Like, okay, you can go to Shuro Chi and spend the time, or you can go and do more stuff and get the levels there.
Cool. I'll be spending lots of glimmer and enhancement cores. Let's just put it that way. I'm lazy.
Agreener running out of enhancement cores by day 3 of the next season.
Probably, yeah. I've only got like 1,400, I think. 14 or 1,500. So it depends on how expensive it is.
If you count in my finest matter weaves, I've got like 4 stacks.
Oh man, no. I'm counting my finest weather. I've only got like 14 or 1,500. So. R.I.P. I do have a million glimmer though, because I still have.
Yeah, I'm still sitting on 3 million glimmer in Rainmakers. Yeah.
Oh, I still got Rainmakers too. I haven't touched them, but I still have an exorbitant amount of planetary materials that I'm still turning in, like probably 40 or 50,000. So I'm good for a while for glimmer anyway. All right. What does this stuff say? Okay, they increased Neomuna.
Go up a little bit first. Resonant and harmonic alloys are going away. Oh, yeah, you'll also be able to trade those into Rahul for
more glimmer.
You can't even hold many of those anyway. Like what, 85?
Well, who knows how much they're going to be worth? It might be 5,000 for one.
Probably.
It's still not very much glimmer, man. All right, maybe I'm just greedy because I have so many planetary materials.
Four of them would almost cap you, so...
No, not 5,000. He said 5,000. 50,000.
Oh, 5. Sorry, yeah, 50.
50,000. I'd take 50,000 for one. Sounds good to me, but Bungie's not that nice. All right, yeah, I heard about those going away. That's kind of fine. Like, I never really had issues with those because I always had so many that like I found myself crafting weapons to get rid of them because I was at cap and I felt like I was wasting loot by like not collecting them. So I was never so short on them that I didn't have enough stuff to buy. Which reminds me, I need to spend all my those deep sight like things from this season.
Harmonizers.
Yeah, harmonizers before the end of the season. I gotta go get some guns that are craftable.
Yeah, I mean, you can keep them on the past season pass for a season more.
Right. I forgot about like that add-on that you can claim them.
Yeah. No, not even the add-on. Like the official, you can claim them.
You can go one
season.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
I don't mean to brag, but I don't have enough weapons available that I don't have patterns for to use all of mine.
Oh, I do. I absolutely do. Anyway, they're going to increase the Neo Muno weapon pattern acquisition, which is nice because it kind of.
Yeah, fuck you.
Oh,
Whoever doesn't have your weapons yet and is going to benefit from this, you can eat all the dicks. All right. I did that shit natural.
All right.
Not even on purpose. I was just trying to get my last Imago loop. And I got every other fucking weapon done before that last one would drop.
Rex, the guy on Twitter that's complaining that he paid off his own student loan, so no one else should get any help from the government.
I can see that. Yeah.
Listen,
I will get benefited from
a better time.
The Throne World ones, probably, because I think there are a couple of Throne World weapons that I never crafted because they were
the Throne World ones. Yeah.
They were so bad.
Yeah.
I have not been missing them in more than a year, so I guess I'll get them now. But
all right, showcase.
Yeah, it's been pretty long, so we're gonna kind of power through this Joe Blackburn video and the This Week in Destiny, so we can finish up at a reasonable time because I want to go drink some coffee and my headache is getting worse. So
why don't we just do thoughts then?
I don't know if coffee and headache goes hand by hand, boss, but you
do. You drink a lot of coffee?
I am Colombian, my friend. That's
what Agreener is saying is that he has a raging caffeine addiction that he needs to feed.
Yeah,
that's in the middle of a withdrawal.
If I don't, exactly.
Fair, yeah.
I get a lack of caffeine headaches all the time. Oof, I don't know if that's what this is, but
it can. So better safe than sorry.
My first instinct when I get a headache is to go drink coffee. It usually. The funny thing is, I probably have a dehydration headache. Probably because I don't drink enough water. So it probably makes it worse. You're right. But I always assume that's the problem the first time. Okay, so we will. I'm just going to talk about it. Joe Blackburn tweeted out a video. It was really good. Well, it was good. All right. There wasn't a lot of negative stuff to say. Overall about the video after I listened to it. Personally, you know me, I'm a pretty positive person when it comes to Destiny anyway. Key takeaways.
What?
Cockrider, yeah. Huge Destiny fucking cockrider. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Some of the key takeaways was the Crucible map pack. What a cool, well, I don't know how cool it is or how many are coming with it. If it has if it has some in it and they drop it sometime next year, the way he was talking about it, definitely not coming at the beginning of the final shape. He kept saying next year. He didn't want to give any sort of indication as when it would be available, but so sometime next year. That's only cool if a map pack is more than 2 or 3 maps. Let's be clear. That's not going to appease the Crucible people if he's like, oh, here's a map pack, it's 3 maps. And they're like, that's the same as just releasing it 1 per season all year long.
That's not what they've been doing, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, they've been redoing some of them.
If they give us 3 maps all at once at the start of a year, that would be great.
It's not going to come out at the start.
Yeah.
I'll tell you right now. There's no way they make 3 maps between now and February. They're too slow.
I mean, they probably already are should be working on the one that should be releasing.
That should be done. They're releasing it.
So I guess, yeah.
4 days. I hope it's done.
No, not that one. I mean, the one that they should be the original one that they were going to be releasing during the final shape. So I guess it's only 2 more.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there was a reprise map coming. Yeah.
Is there a reprise map coming in the final season? Final season of the year?
There's a reprise map on the way.
I only remember there being information from the first 3, but okay, I'll take it. All right, so we get the Vex one this season, right? The new one.
Yes.
All right, neat. Anyway, map pack's good. If we get it, awesome. I don't know when it's going to drop. It'd be awesome to drop with the final shape. I think that would make people a lot of happy, really happy. So we'll see what happens. They also talked about a Crucible, putting together a Crucible Strike Force, to, do stuff better for Crucible. So we'll see where that goes, but it's promising, information. So anyway, sorry, I got distracted because I was reading more of the stuff. So that's good for PvP. We'll see if it actually goes anywhere. If they actually get a map pack in and this Strike Force actually does some really good for PvP, we'll see how it works. So that was really nice. He set some expectations for the showcase, which was really important, I think. They're really going to focus on the story and the location, not a lot of gameplay and mechanical changes or anything like that. My opinion on that would be like they're probably not going to talk about like that Pathfinder shit very much. If there's any big changes, like weapon crafting was for Witch Queen, not like that big. But if there's something like that in the final shape, doesn't look like we're going to get a lot of information on it during the showcase, or there's just nothing like that in the final shape. So who knows? And yeah, I suspect it's probably going to be pretty short story focused and location, like our new patrol zone or whatever it's going to be, and then they're just going to do those interview shit that they do afterwards, and then they're going to do the season 22 stuff. So I've tempered my expectations. It's funny because people, after this came out, people have been talking about being more excited for the final shape than they were, and I've been pulled back on, not on the final shape itself, but on the showcase itself. I was like, okay, all right, I'm gonna pull
the showcase is going to be good. If there's one thing that Bungie is consistently good at, all right, is consistently good at, it's trailers and showcases, right?
Yeah. And music.
I don't know, but I played the game music off, so I couldn't tell you. I still haven't heard any Lightfall music. I don't know what the opening music even sounds like.
Neither do I.
There are some bangers there.
I've turned
absolute bangers in there.
I've turned my music on Destiny twice since year 1. Everybody was talking about Deep Stone Lullaby or whatever it's called, so I turned it on one time to listen to it, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is music. And then everybody kept making fun of me every time we fought Oryx when we were doing King's Fall. They're like, you gotta turn your music on. You gotta. I finally did it on like my 40th clear or whatever it is. I'm like, all right. And then I was like, yeah, guys, this is music. But you want to know what the problem is right now? I can't hear any of you. So I turned the music off again. Which is why I keep music off in games that are multiplayer, because I hate fucking trying to hear voice chat over the music in the game. It pisses me off.
I treat Destiny music like Agreener treats Destiny lore. It doesn't exist.
I'm way more interested in Destiny lore now that I watched that Bife panel at GCX. It was really interesting listening to him talk. I see why he's such a popular YouTuber. And he's a funny guy, too. He seemed funny anyway. I don't know. Does he get funny in his videos? He got funny
every now and then.
He got funny a lot on stage. He was pulling out the jokes left, right, and center.
He's pretty much business in his videos.
Yeah.
I can't watch it. I can watch his videos like in the middle of the day, but if I'm like getting ready to go to bed and doing like a little bit of going to sleep, watch a video, if I turn him on, his playlist will still be playing when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
All right. So we're going to be popping to some of the armor mentions that he did. Another big takeaway was, probably in good faith because of how the community is feeling right now, they're taking a set of Eververse armor next season and they're turning it into ritual armor. So we'll be able to earn it through ritual activities. I thought that was funny.
Yep, me too.
But I mean, I'll take it. Now I don't have to buy it, which is nice. I hope it's cool. I hope it's cool, but it has to be, right? They were expecting to sell it, so it's going to be some of the best armor in the game, probably, because that's what they do, the fuckers. Anyway, all right. What else? Well, they talked about all this, some of this other stuff, about raid and dungeon trials armor being fancy, and that's going to keep being fancy. That was kind of like the dumbest thing I ever heard. I was like, well, that's nice. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you for doing your job.
They want in-game armor to be the best in terms of what it looks like.
Okay, what they should do is add exclusive perks to armor, so people actually have a reason to get armor in this game. That would be so cool. Why can't you do that?
I haven't kept a piece of armor that wasn't exotic since I finished my Keitel farm all those months ago. Right?
Yeah, I get it.
There's no point. There's no point.
There is no point. They need to change that up.
I always thought that Destiny should have more set bonuses for armor, like wear 4 pieces, get something, but it's never been something they've been interested in doing. Like
Set
every
bonuses.
activity. What's up?
I was just gonna say set bonuses would be great. Yeah, I absolutely do think that, and I think they should pull a concept from standard MMOs. Like this raid encounter is the only raid encounter you can get this piece of armor, and it has these perks on it, and that's the only place you can get it.
The sad thing about it is that they have, and it has had so little impact that we're not even touching. Like seasonal armor has specific like armor perks, set perks that will give you stuff, but it's so meaningless.
Well, this season was
doesn't count.
increased experience points for some. Yeah.
Isn't it almost always like rep game?
Yeah.
Basically, is what the perks are. They should
Or
give you actual perks that are meaningful in at the very least that are meaningful in the activity that you get them from. And I think that raid and dungeon armor and maybe even trials, well, trials is a special case, but raid and dungeon armor should have perks that have set bonuses that whatever the bonus is meaningful outside of the raid. It should be something more than a mod slot for raid mods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
That would work in that instance, like similar to what I was saying. This raid encounter is the only place you can get this thing. So you could do that. You can make the raid armor. It has a slot that can be utilized outside of the raid, but this is the only encounter that you can get that mod, and its drop rate is 10%. I'd love it.
Its drop rate is you got a better chance of getting a cowboy hat.
Anyway, I love that concept. That's why I used to love raiding and MMOs. It's like I want that one shoulder piece. That's it. It's got the perfect stats for me. That's the one I want. That's the one I need. It's got that awesome perk that heals me when I touch my nuts. Like whatever it is, you know what I mean? So
all the specific perk balls, but yeah, absolutely.
I think that would be so cool in Destiny, and it would actually give meaning to the armor, where the armor currently has no meaning to it whatsoever, other than the aesthetic value, which can be changed, obviously with transmog, and then I forgot what I was going to say something else, but I lost it. It's gone. Anyway, there's just no point. There's no real point to armor. Oh yeah, what I was just gonna say is and if you have a set of what you said, master artifice armor, then
that's it.
You're almost like if you got a decent roll artifice armor, you're like never gonna turn that off, because those 3 extra points are far more powerful than you can even imagine in reality. So anyway. Maybe they'll figure that out one day and put Armor 3.0 out, but until then, we'll see. Okay, so I don't know. Eververse armor is experimental with things expected Destiny people. What does it say though? Eververse armor that can be. We know, but okay, all right. So
yeah, that's just explaining the tiers.
Okay, yeah,
we can make Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, and Horizon Zero Dawn armor. Woo! It's experimental. Now give us $20 a piece, please. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's fine as long as they're putting out a decent amount of in-game armor to acquire.
Agreed.
Like, I could care less. They could put out 100 billion fucking pieces of Eververse armor. But if they put out 100 pieces of Eververse armor and they give us one seasonal armor piece that comes with the season, then they can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
And they give us one new Iron Banner set every year. Like, no, you can put out more than that. For the love of God, one person, and I don't game develop, but I took it in college. I did it for 3 years, and I used to model stuff. There's no way one person, if you put one person on a team, he can't model a set of armor in 3 months. Okay?
Yeah.
So just have 4 people do one each. And then you get an Iron Banner, you get a Crucible. Well, you can make the Vanguard or the Ritual one all the same, just different colors. Sure, fine, whatever. So you get one Ritual, one Iron Banner, and then you get your Raid shit, and you get Raid or Dungeon, whatever one happens to be coming that season, and then seasonal. Oh, I guess you need to add one more because there's always a seasonal ornament. Okay, so 5 people. That's not that much. Like,
Yeah, no.
that's not that many people. They've got thousands of people working at Bungie. And I get it's all about budget again, but you got to be able to make more armor. If your armor is useless, at least make more that we can be happy that it looks cool or something. I don't know.
Play the fashion game.
All right, so they didn't mention Gambit at all, which I thought was
It's
amusing.
in the corner. We already discussed this with Stasis.
It's in the corner. You're right. Technically, the Ritual armor set is Gambit related. I'm sure you'll be able to earn it through Gambit. But yeah, he didn't mention Gambit at all. That's fine. It's whatever. Some people disagree with that, obviously. I'd like to get some new maps in Gambit. I think Gambit would be a little bit more entertaining if there was some new stuff in it. But overall, I think they should just bring Gambit Prime back with the Reckoning sets, and I'll be a happy boy. That was the coolest Gambit mode ever.
Realistically, I only engage in ritual playlists if either A, I really enjoy the activity, which is why I play Crucible, or there is the specific loot I'm going after.
Yeah.
I don't play Gambit to go get the new sniper rifle, because there's no point to getting the new sniper rifle. It's a waste of my time. All right, but I will dive in to do Nightfalls or even play Vanguard playlist if there's a gun in there that I want. Otherwise, I'm not touching that either, right? There's no point to doing it. That's it. If there were armor in there, if I could earn armor that looked cool, I would play those playlists and do my rep grind. But it doesn't exist, and they're not going to do it. They're going to give us one pity Eververse set and supposedly give us an update next year. But they already backed away from doing an update for this year, so I don't know if I can believe that they're going to do that when the final shape launches or not.
I guess we'll see when it comes, right? So he did talk about more stuff in here. We don't need to go into all detail. He talked about the checkmate and the relic stuff in the Crucible, but we already know like the details of that. We just got to wait to get our hands on it and see what it's like.
There's only one more thing I really want to mention that came out of this whole presentation, and it's not even in-game Destiny. He mentioned that he wants to start streaming, and I want to watch those streams and be present for them just to see the toxic shitbags come out and see how they deal with them. Because those Twitch streams are going to be full of the worst of the Destiny community.
Oh yeah,
just letting their freak flag fly.
When he said that, he's out of his fucking mind, man. Like the gaming
some of
community
the most toxic
is the worst. Like there's so many good of us, but oh my god, the bad, the worst of the worst. They're so fucking entitled redneck shitbags that exist in the world, and they will just, from the comfort of sitting behind their computer monitor, they'll say the most fucking degenerate things you could think of. And it's gonna happen. It's gonna be, I don't know. He's gonna have that shit, like 47 moderators in those streams or something, or it's just he's gonna get ripped to fucking part, and he's gonna have like depression. Like it's not about somebody that says, "Oh, I can just ignore that stuff." It's like, I don't care who you are. You can't ignore it all. It will tear you down, 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 down.
The most degenerate members of the Destiny community show up in my Twitter feed all the time because the amount of engagement they get with their fucking phobic nonsense. And just today, when Elon posted that thing about when you block somebody on Twitter,
oh my god,
it's not gonna take them. It's not gonna. You're not gonna be able to do it, right? You can only do it in DMs. These people were rejoicing for the carnage, specifically for the carnage they're going to be able to generate now. Right? So I can only imagine what it's going to be in Twitch. Oh my gosh, man. Poor
the
Joe.
reason why I'm not using Twitter anymore or X or whatever, it's exactly because of that. I don't want to be the one who's like, just by existing, just by watching a degenerate tweet on my feed, just because someone else liked it or commented or anything. I don't want to be part of the money that they are receiving, because it's, and I can see like those people, those are the ones that are going to be in those streams. You guys are right.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
It's gonna be.
We'll definitely see. I think it's more of a question of we'll see how much he lasts. I don't think
have
that's
an
gonna be
army
a
of
thing.
mods. That's all I can say.
And he just
Even with an army of mods,
and he doesn't read chat. He gets like there's moderators in chat, and they take the good stuff and they feed it to him.
Yeah,
it's the only
that's
way
the
he's
only
going
way.
to be able to survive.
Absolutely. Anywhere, any other idea will end up with him just quitting eventually. Like, it's not going to be a matter of if, it's going to be a matter of when.
Who could? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no.
I
no others do
purposely
it.
go on Twitter to get shitbags to shit on me. It's part of the podcast typically. I didn't want to do it this week, but and even sometimes that gets to me. Not very often. Like, I'm doing it purposely. I think it's hilarious that people just are so hateful for no fucking reason whatsoever. But sometimes I want to chirp back, but I can't. Anyway, so you can't feed the troll. You can't do it. You're not allowed. Anyway, so yeah, that's gonna be fun. He's gonna start streaming. They talk about communication. They got open up a. This is one thing I think is funny about the Bungie community and Bungie itself and whatever. I've been ingrained in a lot of gaming communities in the past, like whether it be World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14, Counter-Strike, all online games of service, the Division, and Destiny by like 600 fucking million% is the most communicative developer when it comes to their game of service that I've ever dealt with in my life. Communication after communication, after blog after blog after blog, after tweet, after this, after that, after video, boom, 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 always something coming out about something, directly like talking about things that the community have said. They used to be on Twitter, they've kind of pulled away from, Reddit, they kind of pulled away from that because people were being shitbags, of course. Always coming in, replying to comment tweets, with stuff they're doing. And then the only thing, and the community has always said they need to improve their communication, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, and this is a bad example because this was a really good video and it was really good for communication. And I actually said, oh, this is really good. So do they need to improve the type of communication that they're providing? Maybe, but I don't think they need to improve their communication because they communicate so fucking much.
They don't. The Destiny community is great at one thing, and that is finding something to complain and bitch and moan about. That is what the Destiny community is about, and it's really what gaming communities have really kind of turned into. But anytime Bungie makes a change that is good and what people ask for, they will get maybe one day of reprieve, because the next day they're just going to start back into the next thing they want to bitch about. That's just how it works, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
you just gotta fucking ignore them. Fucking troll loser shitbags.
Yep, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
Pretty brutal. But yeah, so that was always one of the things that I really thought was hilarious about what people would say, and we gotta improve communication. It's like you really don't, but whatever. If you want to, go ahead. And he mentioned it in the thing, improving communication on with these, on Bungie.net and on Twitter and Reddit. So yeah, whatever. All right. So I imagine most of the stuff on This Week in Destiny we've already gone over. Gonna quickly scan it and see if there's anything I'm
It's
missing.
the Guardians for Maui thing, the new
Yeah, I
campaign.
scrolled down too far. Okay, hold on. Whoop, boop, beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop, boop. Which
Yeah,
is
the
actually a
Guardians for
sick
Maui.
one, by the
Yeah.
way.
Agreed.
First off, direct relief to like that fucking
There's the
wildfire.
fires in
man.
Hawaii right now.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's
Videos
crazy.
coming out there are absurd, and it's actually there's another fire right now in British Columbia that have it's in Kelowna, and I'm seeing videos coming on TikTok of people that all jumped into the lake on their boats and are just floating there because the whole side of the mountain is on fire. And it's just like boats all through the water. It's like, what is going on this year? It's crazy. Like, I know we always have fires every year, but this year has been absurd. Absurd. Anyway, this one's for, Hawaii. That was devastating. The whole fucking town burned down. People in water, over 100 dead at this point. So they're launching a campaign, send some money down there, help people out, some relief and support. There's a really sick shirt that they're selling on the Bungie store for this. You get a nice little emblem, so you get yourself a little benefit, and you're helping, an immensely great cause. We'll put the link in the description on YouTube when this video goes live. But if you want to check it out, if you're listening now and you want to check it out earlier than that, just go to Bungie.net and check out the direct relief campaign on the This Week in Destiny article. It's really cool though. I guess I never showed it on screen here. Let me show it on screen real quick. Whoop. This is the shirt. Which is sick art for they clearly pumped this out in a few days. Which proves to me that they can make more than one armor set per season. But yeah, this ghost is sick, and just everything. It's a really cool design. Good on them. And this is a super colorful emblem. I think it's really neat. So if you're all about getting some stuff for your sport, then there's some really cool stuff on here that you can get, and it helps Hawaii, and then I'm sure there's a direct fundraiser part if you don't actually need anything specifically.
There was a tweet about when this actual fundraiser would be live on the Bungie Foundation website. So just make sure you check that before you push the button. I know that I got caught up in one of these things where they were switching between funds on their website, and it kind of messed things up a little bit. Just make sure you know what you're doing if it matters to you, right? Because it might delay you getting whatever you're going to get back out of it. So, but their Bungie Foundation, one of the Bungie Foundation people posted something about that on Twitter earlier this week.
Let me check this out.
Yeah, that's the only active one. If you go to the Bungie Foundation,
okay,
the only one there. It's Maui campaign right now.
All right. Oh, that time might have passed then.
Mm-hmm. Same with the direct relief.
Yeah,
somebody was bitching about it, and the Bungie Foundation guy was like, "It hasn't actually started yet."
Here, I'm gonna drop the link in chat. I know I don't normally do this, but go check that out. It put me right in a line immediately. That's only 1 minute long. So these are neat. Cool. Anyway.
All right.
Next up, they dropped a little teaser for the Destiny showcase. It's really quick, but it still got me pumped. I don't know why. It's 3 Guardians. They're flying their awesome little ships into the portal, the Traveler, and then that's it. You don't see anything, nothing. But I was like, oh baby, let's go. I don't know why that got me stoked. I don't get it. I don't even like this game. I don't get it. Our Twitch streams bring all the drops to the yard. Jesus Christ. All right, so there's going to be emblem drops if you're watching it, I guess, on the 22nd, which sucks because I wanted to stream this, you fucking assholes.
Unfortunately, I have to actually be in the office on the 22nd. There's a big in-person thing going on literally all day.
Lame.
So it sucks.
Just leave your computer at home on Twitch. Let's go.
Yeah, I'll be watching the stream, like the showcase, and then I'll have to watch the video that they upload of GamersCon because it's gonna be like around the same time. And I want to see the Xbox GamersCon also.
Yeah, that's fair. They also released a neat little trailer with some content creators and stuff that I really liked as well. And there was some people, some lower end, or I don't want to say lower end, but lower. I don't know the term. They don't have a lot of viewers, I guess. So smaller content creators. A lot of smaller content creators on there, which was really neat. I liked seeing that. That was good. And then they posted a photo of the new seasonal armor and Imaru. I assume that's the name of the character.
Yeah.
You want to know something? You want to know something hilarious? Like, I pay so little attention to the story that I didn't even realize when I was doing the patrols on Savathun's Throne World that was her ghost that was talking. Until I saw his name trending on Twitter and this picture beside it, I was like, "Oh, Amaru
that's the
is
guy.
Savathun's ghost," because I recognized the name for some reason. He must say it a couple times or whatever.
Amaru here with your marching orders. I think that's the dialogue that he usually says.
Why would you ever think that this guy that sounds like a New Jersey plumber or a Sopranos extra was Savathun's ghost, right? So it's fine. It makes perfect sense to me that you didn't realize that if you hadn't been paying attention to the
I thought it was just
dialogue
some
lines.
hive guardian or something that would talk, like, was like the captain of her army. Like, I never even tried to put that information together. Anyway, I put it together when I saw, hashtag Amaru and then this photo coming out. I was like, oh, Amaru is the guys on the patrols. Cool. Anyway, whatever. Fuck. Shows how much I pay attention. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. So, don't care.
The stuff we talked about.
Cool.
Yeah.
Live, laugh, whatever, blah, 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 blah.
There's Amanda Holiday Reborn right there. That little kiosk.
Oh, I did read this.
Yeah.
New special deliveries kiosk. Why can't it just go to Rahul? What's wrong with Rahul? Like,
I don't know.
is that too many windows for them to manage? Like, whatever. Anyway, so
Amanda Holiday really should be written on this kiosk thing somewhere. Anyway.
that would be cool. Or just like A.H, like not make it super obvious, but like it'd be funny. All right, I'd take it. La 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 la. Yeah, okay. What do we got here? Known issues. These guys are too bright. That's funny.
Have you seen them? They are too bright.
Are they? All right. I'll
Go
have to check it out.
go into the
sector. Okay.
Yeah, that's the Kalos Shapeless sector in Yamuna. The guys, wow, they are really bright.
Okay, sounds good. The Compass Shotgun Rose is not in collections, and the Lord of Wolves exotic shotgun is missing hipfire reticle. Cool. All right, nice. So let's see. Oh, this is actually okay. That's pretty. Wow.
Hippie's got 2 dogs for you.
Cool. This is neat though. I like this little art. Except for Zavala, doesn't look like Zavala. How did they get real people to look right, but not an art design character? Whatever. I don't fucking care. Like real human beings has got to be the hardest, right? Anyway, whatever. Let's see what we got here. Oh my god, is that like the Darksiders mask? Wait,
We actually can't see it. You're on the wrong window.
There you go. It kind of reminds me of it. I wonder if it is. Yeah.
That could be. It looks like Reaper's mask from Overwatch though.
Which looks pretty much exactly the same as the Darksiders mask. I'm being dramatic, but
Yeah, I think that's
it's not-
Reaper's Mask.
yeah, it's not quite the same. You're right. All right, that's Reaper.
Yeah, it is Reaper's Mask.
Okay.
It has the things on the side, I think.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
And then where is the other one? Wait, that's the same one.
On the heart.
Yeah. This dog's way better anyway. Thanks, Hippie. Hippie's animals are always the best animals. Sometimes the other guys put them in there, but hers are always the best. And then sometimes some assholes don't even put them in. Fuck those guys. They shouldn't even be writing a blog. They piss me off. They're bad. Anyway, I could probably stop sharing now anyway. Oh, that's neat. That's a really long pole. Why's the pole so long?
I mean, maybe for some extra reach.
Maybe. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing. All right, so that's all the content we had to go over. Holy guacamole, so much stuff, crazy. But yeah, super exciting. Showcase is Tuesday. New season is Tuesday. New raid is Friday. Or the Friday after that.
In 2 weeks.
The Friday after that. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Today in 2 weeks.
Yeah. September 1st. There. If you guys need that information. So we're also probably going to be finding out what the raid is, likely on Tuesday. It's Crota.
It's Wrath.
Man, I don't know. Everybody's talking about Crota. All the people on Twitter think it's Crota. A lot of people think it's Crota. I don't know why.
I'm just gonna be like, ha! It's gonna be Spire.
Oh man, I'd be pissed if it was a. Well, actually, I would be pissed. I love Spire Stars. I thought it was such a fun raid to do with friends. Yeah, throwing those balls around, having a good time, like.
It's gonna be Eater Worlds.
And I would be very upset if it was Eater Worlds. Eater Worlds I do not like. I do not
Crown
like
of Sorrow.
Eater or Crown. I would take a revamp Leviathan where we find out that Callus didn't actually die and we've got to fight him again, and they revamp everything and it has the Shadow Legion in it, and you actually, instead of fighting a robot at the end, you fight Callus and kill him for real.
That would be cool, but none of the reprise raids have had any meaningful lore impacts or changes, so I wouldn't hold my breath.
I know that's not going to happen. All right, but it would be
It's
awesome.
gonna be
Nice.
Crota. Crota
It would be
fits
dope.
into Crota's the same number of encounters as the past couple of raids we've gotten. It just fits into the mold perfectly.
Mm,
It's a 3
Is
encounter
it?
raid. Yeah. If you count the puzzle section as an encounter.
That is fair.
Whatever.
Actually, no. Crota has a 4 encounter raid.
It's what? Lanterns, it's the bridge.
Lanterns,
it's
Bridge.
the Death Singers, and then Crota.
And then, yeah, 4.
So fits right in the mold of what we're doing right now.
I mean, but both reprised have 5.
How many does Wrath have?
So Wrath has the opener,
Yeah.
which is long enough that I think should count as an encounter. And you
Yeah.
got TVs. You've got the Death Zamboni, which almost counts as 2 because there's the Death Zamboni portion where you got to blow it up, and then there's the Death Zamboni part where you got to put it back together. Right?
Yeah.
There's running through the complex, and then there's the 2 phases of the boss encounter
Mhm.
that are both long enough that you could probably consider them both 2 different encounters.
I think both have good chances of being, to be honest. Like, I know Bungie said that they were never going to be bringing Crota, but there are many ways for them to just adjust some stuff with the 390 version and just bring it in. It can be either. I want it to be Wrath, but it can be either. And as long as we get all of them by the end of the final shape year, all D1 raids are back, I will be happy.
I'm fine
Mind the order.
if it's Crota, as long as there's a way to get to the Age of Triumph Crota armor into D2.
Ooh.
All right.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
Put that right in the master mode. That's the armor that drops from the master mode, and you will see me running master mode until I've got full sets on all characters.
You heard him, Bungie.
But why?
Make Rect happy.
Why? Because the Age of Triumph armor, specifically the Crota set, is some of the best armor that Bungie's ever put out.
Yeah.
The best looking armor that Bungie's ever put out.
Well, they're just going to
It's
put it in
dope.
Eververse then.
You make me sad with your logic.
Why that's sad? Now you don't have to run Master Mode. You can just buy it for money.
Because I want to earn it, Greener.
No, you want to buy
Fuck.
it.
Shut up, you shill.
You want to buy it so you can play more Gambit.
The Titan one was the one that I never liked. Like the spike, it was too spiky. But the other ones had just the proper amount of spikes.
No.
All right, let's finish up. Typically this time of the night we would plug anything
Plugs.
that we've got coming up, or your Twitch channel, or something of that nature. So I'm gonna let Rick go. You got any plugs for us?
Twitch.tv/Mr_Rect. I will be beginning my preparations for the Halloween event in probably not this weekend, but probably starting next weekend. So trying to do more than just the transmog contest. Trying to do an IRL costume contest. We'll see how that works out. And I'm trying to do a event card of some kind for that time period. So I'm about to run the clock out on post Clan Wars. I don't want to do shit. So let me get back to work.
That's fair. If you need help with that, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
I really like to see the IRL costume contest. That'd be neat. The photos from that would be fun. So I'd like to see that happen. So if I can help make it happen, let me know.
That's it.
Cool. Prez, you want to plug anything? Any accounts? YouTube?
I mean, the Xbox Sherpa team, and honestly, all of the Sherpa teams are always looking for more people. So hit us up. We're always on the lookout for more talent, and we know that we're full of potential Sherpas who would like to be part of the team. So hit us up, raid with us, get the test done, and join us. You only need 10 clears of all the actual raids, and then to pass the test. It's actually like it's super doable these days.
Hey, Wave, I know you're watching. I know you were doing a Sherpa yourself earlier today. Pretty sure it was a Ron Sherpa. You've been doing a lot of Sherpas lately, buddy. You should really submit that application and graduate yourself from mentor to Sherpa. Let's do it. What are you waiting for? Do it right now. Just do it. Make your dreams come true. Make Perez's dreams come true. Let's do it. Come on. All right.
Now, my dreams would also actually being like poaching it for the Xbox Sherpa team, but then again, at this point, I don't mind since we're all the same team.
Yeah, we
PC
all
Sherpa,
pull from
PS Sherpa, Xbox Sherpa.
We'll
We'll get the requests from the same place.
Yeah, we all pull from that post. The only difference really is now is you probably tend to do more Sherpas from your clan, your specific clan. So other than that, it all comes from the Sherpa request queue, which we don't discriminate anymore over what console you're on. As long as you can join a Discord voice, we don't give a fuck where you are. And then if you can't, then you're gonna have to find a Sherpa that's in your platform to help you out. Sorry, which one of us will do, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, apply to be a Sherpa, whether Xbox, PSN, PC, doesn't matter. Get in there, help members of the community.
PSCX.
Yeah, PSCX. Help members of the community learn in-game content, help retention, and help your enjoyment of the video game Destiny 2. Yeah, that's right. All right. As for Shrouded Gaming plugs, sorry, excuse me. Not much. Couple things. I've officially fixed the attendance bot on the Twitch stream, I think. Pretty sure it's working. It worked this whole time. I've been taking little looks at it. Seems to be working. Anyway, so we're going to definitely be pushing a little bit of stream attendance, and we're going to be giving away awards for clans that, that have the highest attendance. So keep that in mind. Let your peeps know. Win some free stuff. I don't know what it's going to be yet. We'll figure it out as it goes. We've officially started our Final Shape pre-order system. So basically, they're going to mostly be loyalty point giveaway rewards, and then we're also going to be giving away random ones during community streams, that type of stuff, hitting CCV goal numbers, that type of thing. We could increase more and more if we hit other goals. There's gonna be potential for a lot of them. There's obviously going to be some that you can win with just in general, but the more support we get, the more we can give away, and the more we will give away. So that'll be fun.
Devilito, listen, homie. I just dropped $3,400 on an air conditioner. I need one of these, so back the fuck off, you bitch.
Yeah, he doesn't want a lot. We will be announcing our first one in the description below. If you haven't seen it already, this is the first week it goes live. We don't know how much it costs yet, and if it's actually going live on the 22nd. We might be jumping the gun, but I believe wholeheartedly that the pre-orders will be going live on Tuesday.
Will be.
So whoever wins, congratulations, but you'll have to wait till Tuesday to get it. Anyway. So that's that. Check out twitch.tv/Shrouded Gaming. That's where we have our community streams. That's how you earn your loyalty points. There's ways to earn it in Discord by playing Destiny and stuff too. It doesn't always revolve around the stream, but that is the main source. So keep that in mind. And Catastrophe stream is not till 26th. So that's the Saturday after next, or this one. That's
Saturday after next.
Yeah, yeah. It's not tomorrow or today if you're watching this on YouTube. It's next Saturday. So yeah, those are community fundraisers where typically we take that exact money to give away more Final Shapes. So show up and help out, or don't. I don't care, but whatever. Twitch.tv/Shrouded Gaming. See you there. If you've made it this far in the podcast somehow and you're not a member of the Shrouded Gaming community, I need you to go to shroudedgaming.com/Discord, and that will take you right to our Discord server. We have a huge Destiny community. We've got 25 clans, all different platforms, all different time zones across the world, NA, EU. We've even got some OCN members. I know that's crazy because they're lunatics, but if you're one of them, feel free to join. I'll put you in touch with Slender and Koom. You guys can play all day long, every day. I'm just kidding. Anyway, it's fun. Check us out. We'd love to have you. We do lots of activities. We give away tons of prizes, and we play a lot of Destiny. If you don't know endgame Destiny, this is the place to be. As Perez mentioned earlier, tons of Sherpas ready to hop in game with you and teach you how to play Destiny the fun way. All right, that has been episode 29 of This Week at Shrouded. Thank you all for coming and watching the podcast episode this week. Once again, I'm your host, Agreener, and these were our guests today, Mr. Recht and Aperehz. I want to thank them for coming, and with that, we are out.